Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of the Fearless Immunity Masterclass. Strengthen your natural defenses. This week, cancer awareness. So this is the part 3 of the 6-week masterclass. I'm so excited that you're joining us. I'm excited about what you're going to discover, what you're going to learn about cancer tonight. Many of you have joined us for the first 2 parts. We've got a great engagement the first 2 weeks, which has just been awesome. If this is your first time joining us, I'd like to take a moment and I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jake Shupe. This is my beautiful wife, Dr. Christy, and we're the proud owners of Freedom Family Chiropractic, a Max Living Health Center in Garner, North Carolina, just about 10 minutes from downtown Raleigh. And I've been a doctor for 8 years now. My wife for, I believe, about 7 years. We graduated from Palmer College of Chiropractic. And we've had the privilege and the blessing to see these 5 essentials and see chiropractic transform our health, our parents' health, our family's health. So I've seen it help Dr. Christy overcome debilitating anxiety and panic attacks. She's regained her health. It's helped me overcome allergies, back pain, recovering from workouts. It's helped my dad come off blood pressure medications, lose over 10 pounds, overcome plantar fasciitis. My mom got rid of her migraines, came off 2 antidepressants and a prescription migraine drug, and not to mention countless of hundreds, if not thousands of other stories of life change because of the things that we get to talk about right here, talking about natural health tonight. So we want to educate you, equip you, inspire you so that you can live your fullest God-given potential. And last week, we talked about viruses. So remember, this is a 6-week series. We've never done anything like this before. Also, if you're jumping on here, whether you're joining me on Facebook or whether you're joining me on my YouTube channel, let us know you're here. We love to hear your comments, your feedback. We want to hear some of your takeaways, some of the things that you learned, maybe some of the wins that you've some of the things you've learned from prior weeks. So I'm just going to take a second and make sure that we're seeing everybody. Hey, yes, awesome. We got some comments rolling in. That's good to see my people on here. So many are patients of our office. Some of you might be joining us from, looks like another person's joining online here. That's great. Some of you might be joining us from Wisconsin, from Texas, all over the country. So we want to welcome you. Last week, we talked about viruses and we talked about COVID-19, how to naturally boost your immune system, or not boost, but, optimize function of your immune system. And we talked about how some of the measures that have been taken with viruses and COVID-19 are more reactive measures, where we want to focus on health building measures, things that actually make you healthier. So if you missed it, go back to the Freedom Family Chiropractic Facebook page or my YouTube channel. Make sure you catch last week. Week 1 was awesome. It was introduction to the 5 essentials. And just for memory and repetition, I want to go over those 5 essentials again. So number 1, core chiropractic. 2, nutrition. 3, mindset. 4, oxygen and exercise. 5, minimizing toxins. So these are the 5 essentials. This is the healthcare delivery system that gets the results that we're looking for. But this week we're talking about cancer. And I don't do this talk, or I don't have this conversation without thinking about one of the most amazing men that I've ever gotten the chance to meet, and that's Dr. Charles Majors. And God rest his soul. He passed away a few years ago. And he is one of the reasons why I'm a Max Living chiropractor. You see, I met him in 2009, May 2009 in Chicago at a seminar. So as a student, before I even had joined the program, and I saw this guy speaking with confidence, with passion, with conviction. And I didn't really know anything else except for the fact that if I wanted to be successful, I needed to be hanging around people like this. He was just an amazing man. And then he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a very deadly form of cancer. It's like I think it's 1% of all cancers. Well, he chooses not to go the traditional medical route. He basically bucks the medical system, says he's got golf ball sized tumors in his brain, and he goes after it naturally. And he beats cancer totally gone, writes the book to tell about it, speaking around the country, helping tens and tens of thousands of people, tell them what cancer is, how they can do it naturally as well. And a lot of what I am teaching you today and what I know is because of this man. Now, unfortunately, he then developed a rare subset of multiple myeloma. Literally the 1% of the 1% was not able to fight that. And we've been without him for the last 3 years, but I wanted to just take a second and honor one of my heroes, Dr. Charles Majors. And we're going to talk about cancer because you've heard a lot about COVID-19 this year, but it's National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And the fact is that cancer still kills more than any other disease, than any other thing in the world right now except heart disease. And it's not that far behind. Last year, 1.7 million new cases of cancer just in the United States, over 606,000 deaths. And get this, not only is it making us sick and destroying families, because I think most of us on here probably know somebody, have somebody in their lives that has passed from cancer because it is so prevalent, but it's bankrupting our country. Estimated $1.16 trillion of impact on the economy from cancer. So if we don't do something about becoming a healthier nation, it will literally destroy the structure of our society because we won't be able to sustain it economically anymore. And there's some things on here that you'll see how diet, how the Mediterranean countries do much better than the United States and the UK because it has to do with their diet, consumption of fruits and vegetables, plant-based foods, reducing their risk. No surprise. But the reason I'm bringing this up and I'm talking about that is because cancer is a lifestyle disease and it's preventable. Get this. 90 to 95% of all cancers are due to diet, lifestyle, and the accumulation of toxins. Only 5 to 10%. So the journal Pharmaceutical Research, September 2008 study showed that only 5 to 10% of all cancers are due to genetic defects, meaning 90 to 95% of cancers are completely preventable. And so that means if you can lifestyle your way into disease, you can lifestyle your way out of it and get healthy and get well again. And that's why we have to talk about cancer tonight. You see, cancer, just the word alone, can cause a lot of fear, anxiety, because it's been a deadly disease. But part of the fear and part of the reason why jumping on this class tonight and being a part of it is to help reduce the fear. I like to think of it about like a war or like an enemy. I don't know. I like these examples. So let's say you had somebody that was trying to attack you and they were trying to kill you. And you knew that they were coming after you, but you didn't know who they were. You didn't know what their tactics were. You didn't know how they worked. You didn't know what the skill was, but you just knew that this was like some deadly people, and you knew that, they've been shown to kill people, right? Well, that'd be really scary because you don't know anything about them. But let's say you were able to know, what type of weapons they used. Like their attack methods. How often they attack. Where they like to attack. These characteristics about them. Then guess what? Then you can develop a game plan, a strategy that reduces the fear right there, because you got some knowledge, and knowledge is power. And when you have knowledge, it can give you confidence, and you don't have to live in fear. And just by educating yourself tonight and getting on this class, we're going to help you become a more fearless and gain some confidence over what you can do about cancer for you and for your family. So what is cancer? Cancer, basically, and I'm going to make this super basic, super simple. Cancer is when you have trillions of cells in your body, right? Well, these cells, healthy cells, they're made to go through their lifespan, do their job, and when they're damaged or when they're too old, they are literally programmed to die. And that's normal. They replace them, whatever. But when the cells, when a cell is no longer able to die, it's called through a process called apoptosis, which stands for programmed cell death. When it can no longer go through apoptosis, it stays alive longer than a healthy cell should. And so these cells that don't die then replicate and replicate and replicate. And when causing a tumor, and then these tumors, they get in the way of other structures. They can block blood vessels. They can press on organs. And that's literally how they can go through, your bloodstream, your lymph nodes. And when they start like pressing on other organs or blocking veins and blood vessels, that's most often how they kill you, is they start interrupting other vital structures of your body. So cells that don't die and replicate, these are these tumors. That's the basic rundown of it, right? Well, if you know that, that's an important start. And what causes these cells to go from healthy cells to cancer cells? Well, I'm going to give you the playbook. I'm going to give you the main characteristics of a healthy cell and a cancer cell. And this is one of the ways that gives us some real answers about what we can do about it. Before I do that, though, I want to give a couple of nuggets, because you see, a lot of people think that you just get cancer one day. Like almost like cancer is like this entity that's like floating around, like almost like you can catch cancer, like you can, transfer, cancer from somebody to another person, like a virus or something. That's not how it works. Cancer is not something that you just catch or you get randomly by luck or chance. Cancer typically takes years and years to develop inside of your body. I believe, like 8 years, I think, is the average that cancer cells duplicate before they're even detectable by some of our best medical tests. So they take, most take a long time. And then you find out you have cancer. So see, a lot of people think that you get cancer and that makes you sick. Well, that's not the case. It's you have been getting sicker and sicker for years, then you get cancer. Let me say that again. Cancer doesn't make, this is from Dr. Charles Majors, and I just love the way that this lands, because it helps us understand the process that cancer doesn't make you sick. You've been getting sick for years, then you get cancer. And that's why you get cancer, because your internal environment is not healthy enough. And so the cancers then grow and grow and grow and grow until you're able to get a diagnosis where it's bad enough, where it's a stage 1, 2, 3, or 4 diagnosis, then it's noticeable. That's how cancer usually develops. is over time. And when we look at cancer, we can understand we look at healthy cells, and then we're going to look at what is a cancer cell. And this is the playbook right here that I've been wanting to show you. So healthy cells, these are the 4 main things that a healthy cell needs. It needs oxygen for fuel. Oxygen. It does not need sugar for fuel. It needs proper nerve supply. Also, it has a slightly alkaline pH. So uses oxygen, doesn't need sugar. It uses oxygen, doesn't need sugar, nerve supply, and slightly alkaline. So if you remember chemistry class, you got the pH scale. 1's like super acidic. 14's like the most basic. Our human bodies, they're like almost neutral. It's like 7.2 to 7.4, slightly alkaline, right? So that makes sense that if our bodies are slightly alkaline, then our cells, they need to be slightly alkaline, 7.2 to 7.4. If they get too alkaline or too acidic, that's a poor environment. In poor environments for too long, it forces these cells to adapt. So that's what we have to understand, is that the poor internal environment, or external, which then creates a poor internal environment, it's forcing your cells to adapt. And what I wanted to say a minute ago that I now remember is that cancer is actually, what we found over the years is that cancer is actually an adaptive mechanism. It's actually your innate intelligence making its best informed decision of how to protect your body to live longer. Because it's such a poor environment, these healthy cells can't live like that. So it's adapting to try to keep you alive longer. Now, it's a destructive process when left there, but it's actually your innate intelligence. It never tries to destroy you or harm you. It's always seeking to help the benefit of the whole, the organism. It's just adapting because it's given poor ingredients, so to speak, to thrive. So the healthy cells adapt, they turn into cancer cells, and this is what a cancer cell environment thrives in. They do not use oxygen. They use sugar for fuel. They don't need a proper nerve supply, and most cancers are like acidic cancers. Yes, there are a few that are highly basic or highly alkaline, but most cancers are highly acidic. So this is the blueprint right here. Now, it's not the answer to every single problem in the world as far as cancer goes, but this is the basic blueprint. So if you look at these, it's literally telling you, if you do the exact opposite in your lifestyle of what a cancer cell needs, you can stop the growth, and then you can start feeding and building more healthy cells, and not only prevent, but also even reverse different types of cancer. And the answers right here, some of the 5 essentials, if you're paying close attention, you will see several of the 5 essentials are right in the blueprint of the healthy cell and the cancer cell. So just by knowing that, this should give us confidence of things that we can do to reduce our risk of getting cancer. All right. The 5 essentials: core chiropractic, nutrition, mindset, oxygen, exercise, and minimizing toxins. The first one that I want to talk about of what we can do to minimize our risk and overcome is mindset. Just knowing what you just learned gives you a mindset with better confidence and not living in fear. Because many people are so scared of cancer, and I get it. But we can't live in constant fear and anxiety. And this goes down to, what are you telling yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Are you saying, oh gosh, my mom had cancer, my dad had cancer, like I'm probably going to get cancer. Do you live in worry? Are you a hypochondriac? Do you think that, bad things are going to happen to you? If you think if you get it, that it would destroy you? It's thinking like that literally breeds more sickness and disease. And it's not always easy, but like, what are you telling yourself? Are you saying those types of things, or are you saying things like, God put the most amazing healing power in my body. My immune system is strong. I'm vibrating health. Every cell in my body is expressing health as full potential. I'm full of energy. I'm full of life. I'm full of health. My nervous system is optimizing every cell, tissue, and organ in my body. I'm living in harmonious unity with health, and I make good decisions, living the 5 essentials. Like, are you talking to yourself in a manner that creates a good mindset? Because your mind and your emotions have a big physical impact on your health. And people that think negatively and live in worry and fear, they have higher stress hormones, they have higher risk of disease and other degenerative diseases because of their mindset. So this is something that I think a lot of us can really, really work on, and I cannot be overlooked when it comes to your health. Because stress, your mindset can create your these emotions of distress. You got eustress and you've got distress. And there's many scenarios where, like, literally somebody, like, stress does kill. Stress can create cancer. Your stress and your hormonal response gets all out of whack, causes too much inflammation. We've seen scenarios where, just to prove it, like, people have changed nothing in their lifestyle with like nutrition or exercise, and they like get out of a stressful situation, like they break up from an abusive spouse, or break up from an abusive boyfriend or girlfriend, and they leave, and then like cancer goes away. Or they like they have a super stressful job, like climbing the corporate ladder or something, and they like quit their job and they like, you know, do something else, and like they didn't change anything else, and cancer goes away. And that can happen because stress causes physiological damage when you have too much of it on too long of a basis. So we can't overlook how important stress is when it comes to our health. Pretty cool, huh? Nutrition. Well, let's talk about nutrition. And this is one thing that when it comes to cancer, I've been blown away about. Literally blown away. I've seen oncologists, other medical doctors, I've seen nutritionists, even the nutritionist, the nutrition teacher in the chiropractic school. I remember them saying things like, when it comes to cancer, that your nutrition doesn't matter. I've heard oncologists say that to patients, like, oh, just get the chemo, get the radiation, get the surgery, cut it out. Oh, doctor, what do I need to do nutritionally? Nothing, just get the procedures done and you'll be good. And it's like, what? Like, how can a professional even say something like that? I mean, that is, they should lose their license. That they literally should not be allowed to practice medicine if they make statements like that. Now, I know that they believe in their allopathic treatments, but to negate the power of nutrition is asinine. So we know that nutrition plays a huge role because we looked at the blueprint. And one of the things is that healthy cells, they need oxygen, and cancer cells, they require sugar. In fact, they have 8 times the amount of receptor sites for sugar than a normal healthy cell. So sugar, being a huge part of a lot of people's diets, is going to play a huge role in feeding cancer. If you want to build cancer, or if you already have cancer and you want to feed it and make it grow really fast, which nobody does, but if you want to feed cancer, go ahead and eat a lot of sugar. Eat high carbohydrates, eat a lot of sugar, processed sugar, high fructose corn syrup, lots of sodas, and you'll be well on your way to building proliferating cancer cells. So our nutrition plays a big role into it. Sugar is probably the worst. We talked about it last week, how it weakens your immune system. And then, so when it weakens your immune system, it then weakens your cancer fighting cells, like your white blood cells and your natural killer cells, so that they can't go and attack and kill these cancer cells. So you've got to avoid sugar. So cutting out your carbohydrates is huge: breads, pastas, grains. And then you can still have some sweet stuff. And then if you've been watching, or if you've been living the 5 essentials, healthy sweetener replacements, things like stevia, erythritol, monk fruit extract, allulose syrup. These are some healthier sweeteners, stevia being one of the better ones, that are going to be natural. They're not artificial sweeteners. They're not going to spike your blood sugar. So you can still have sweet things. Just got to avoid sugar and lots of carbohydrates. So you want a low carbohydrate. And we got to talk about the fats, right? So fats. A lot of Americans eat fats, but they eat damaged fats, or what we call toxic fats. And things like canola oil, corn oil, hydrogenated oils, a lot of these fried and vegetable oils. And these damaged fats are very inflammatory, and too much inflammation over time weakens your immune system. It increases your risk of different types of cancers, causes damage to your cells, and they can't function properly. So you got to avoid toxic fats. However, if you want to be healthy, you actually need a good amount, a large amount of healthy cells, but we need healthy fats. And that is avocado, raw butter, extra virgin organic coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, omega-3s from flaxseed, raw nuts and seeds, wild caught Alaskan salmon. These are some amazing healthy fats that are anti-inflammatory, reducing your cancer risk, staying away from damaged fats like vegetables, corn oils, hydrogenated oils that are oftentimes super high in omega-6s too. So you want to limit your amount of omega-6s, even healthy omega-6s, so that you can have the best chance of fighting and reversing and preventing various types of cancers. Meats. When it comes to buying organic, meats are the first thing that you have to switch over if you haven't already, because they have the highest toxic load. Even more important than switching your produce over, even more important than switching over your fats, you got to start with the animal products first because of toxic bioaccumulation. Now, there's a cow on here. And so that makes me think of something that I hear from people all the time. And they're like, oh yeah, Dr. Jake, red meat, I'm avoiding red meat. Red meat causes cancer, and red meat is bad for you. And I always cringe a little bit when I hear that, because that's not necessarily true. It's not that red meat causes cancer. It's that commercial toxic red meat causes cancer, just like commercial toxic white meat will cause cancer. Like the way that commercial chicken is raised has almost as much of a likelihood of causing cancer as commercial beef does. So like healthy beef from healthy cows, 100% grass-fed, grass-finished. If you want to go even further, like, humanely slaughtered, biblical slaughtering to reduce stress hormones in it. So healthy, grass-fed, grass-finished cows in a great environment. Not only is it okay, but these can be considered a health food. Now, I'm not saying eat red meat for every single meal of every day, because if you get too high of proportions, that could cause issues. But healthy grass-fed beef, and then when we're looking at the white meat, so organic pasture-raised chicken would be best. These meats are health-building foods, full of amino acids and enzymes and nutrients. In fact, going vegan or going completely animal-free for too long can be detrimental because it's very difficult to go meat free or totally animal product free for long periods of time. We start to see people get really sick or get nutrient deficiencies if they go meat free for too long. So reducing your meat load can be very, very beneficial. But, I always say with caution, if you're going to go vegan, you do have to be very intelligent and be very, very smart about it. But getting back to the cancer story is that healthy grass-fed and organic meats, that's the first thing you're going to switch over to reduce your toxic load if you want to consume meats. So this week, a challenge, I love that they put this slide on here. This week challenge, remove damaged fats and switch out your meats. So if you were to just take 1 or 2 action steps, let's say the first one, yes, you're going to pay a little bit extra, but remember, you're investing in your health. If you're buying commercial beef and commercial chicken, switch those out, go to organic, grass-fed, go to organic chicken, and that right there is going to reduce your toxic load tremendously and really be a great choice for you. And then the damaged fats as well. So moving from like your commercial fats to like organic, unrefined, organic butter. If you can find pasture raised, or you can find raw butter, that's even better. But organic fats and meats are the first 2 things that you switch over, even before you go to organic produce, which we are going to talk about a little bit. All right, so nutrition does play a huge role. And then we're going to talk about minimizing toxins, which we kind of already have been, but 2 more things that I want to talk about here. Also, glyphosate and BPA are 2 toxins that I'm going to talk about this evening. And before I get into that, though, I want to say that this category it's not called, the essential isn't eliminate toxins. It's called minimize toxins. Why? Because our environment today is so full of toxins. It's more toxic than any world that humans have lived in up to this point. It doesn't do any good freaking out about it. It doesn't do any good getting overwhelmed and worried about it, but it does do good educating yourself and taking practical action steps to at least reduce your toxic load. That's what we're looking at here. How can we reduce our toxic load and live a healthier life? So most health experts agree we've got to be detoxifying regularly and avoiding toxins. So toxins in food, one of them, glyphosate, also known as Roundup. This is a huge problem. And so we've got to be avoiding Roundup and glyphosate. It's sprayed on over 100 different crops. So it's sprayed on corn, it's sprayed on soybeans, well, apparently 98 other crops, because 100 different crops use, it's a pesticide, so to keep bugs and stuff away, but that goes on your foods, it goes into your foods. EWG has done studies, they've shown that things like cereals and granola bars have unsafe, meaning higher than allowable levels on foods of glyphosate. And the World Health Organization has deemed glyphosate probably carcinogenic, but it is not probably carcinogenic. That's kind of what they do. It's like, this thing may cause cancer, or this thing may help with your health. And I think that's like just a disclaimer, statement that they kind of like legally have to say. But we know for a fact that glyphosate is a cancer-causing chemical. The farmers that use this stuff, the farms that make the farmers spray this stuff, have been getting all sorts of different cancers for years. Literally millions and millions of dollars in lawsuits have been given out to people suing organizations for the overutilization, the use of these pesticides destroying families. So we know it's cancer causing. and it's literally being sprayed on your foods. And that's why going organic when possible is huge, even on your produce. So avoiding pesticide load is important. So how can you do that? Well, going organic is going to be the just encompassing way to do it with your produce, because organic crops are not sprayed with pesticides. However, if you can't go 100% organic because of cost, there's little helper lists that EWG put out. You can go to ewg.org, or you can just Google the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. Now, the Clean 15, those are commercial crops that have a low pesticide load. So it's not necessarily critical to buy those organic. So the Clean 15, those ones are okay if you can't buy all organic. But the Dirty Dozen, guess what? They're dirty. And those ones, you got to buy organic or you don't buy them. So you Google that, you get the Dirty Dozen, the Clean 15, you go shopping with that. That's one way right there that you can reduce your pesticide load of Roundup and glyphosate and other pesticides. So I hope that tip helps you. Another toxin that I want to talk about tonight to avoid is a huge one, BPA. And BPA is like everywhere these days. It's a hormone disrupting chemical. It throws off balance of estrogen, a lot of times causing estrogen dominance. Now, this is guys and women. This is men and women. So don't think, well, we're talking about estrogen, so it's a girl thing. No, we both have estrogen. We both have testosterone in different levels. This is important to men and women, to everybody. So too much BPA throws off your estrogen levels and leads to different forms of cancers, specifically breast cancer and prostate cancer. So BPA is found in plastics, like plastic bottles, water bottles. It's found in like that plastic lid on your Starbucks cup or your coffee cup. It's found in, what else is found in? The receipts, thermal paper receipts, the plastic lining in like canned foods. Even though it's a metal can, there's a BPA lining a lot of times. So practically avoid those things. That's easy. If you go to a coffee shop and you get a nice organic cup of coffee and it's in a paper cup, instead of drinking it through that plastic and that heat melts up and you get all the BPA and you suck it in, take the plastic cap off. That's what I do. When somebody asks you if they want a paper receipt, get a text receipt or get an email receipt, or what I do, no receipts. It's faster too. So don't touch that thermal paper. I mean, if you do it occasionally, but don't make it a regular habit. Don't drink out of those plastic cups, plastic water bottles. In the Shupi household, we drink out of mason jars. So drink out of glass whenever possible. People make fun of me about this, but hey, I'm reducing my BPA load because of being exposed to too many plastics. That's some practical, functional things that you can do. Now, you can't avoid all toxins. And most health experts agree that we should be detoxing at a minimum on a quarterly basis. I think we need to develop detox protocols into a more of a weekly, if not daily practice, but quarterly is like a bare minimum. And one great way to do that, and there's tons of different ways, but one easy way to do it that I love to do it through is supplementation. And this is a product that I've been taking for over a decade now, for 10 years on a regular basis, like pretty much every month for 10 years, because it pulls toxins out of your cells. So if you want to reduce your cancer risk and improve your overall health, detoxing is important. Let me tell you about this product, why I love it. It's safe, it's gentle, it's very effective. So it's a two-part system. It's got the cell detox, which has the amino acids that make up glutathione, milk thistle. It's got chlorella, some powerful it's got glutathione precursors and powerful antioxidants. They draw the toxins out of the cells, and that's awesome. But a lot of times these toxins, some of them will go out of the body and be eliminated, but some of them will get reabsorbed back to the bloodstream, and we don't want any of that. So that's why the second part's really critical. It's the body detox. That's activated charcoal and magnesium. That binds the toxins, safely eliminates them from the body so that they're not reabsorbed back into the bloodstream, reduces your toxic load. I've seen this help tremendously with people's digestion and going to the bathroom more regularly. I've seen people lose 5, 7, 10 pounds in a month of doing the detox, because a lot of weight gain or holding on to weight is due to weight loss resistance due to toxicity. So if you're toxic or you haven't been detoxing real regularly, this could even potentially help you shed some pounds. So if you've not done a detox in the last quarter or never, is a great thing you can try. You can pick it up in the office. If you want to come into the office, you can just get it there. It's 10% off. Just mention, hey, got the discount from the Masterclass this week, 10% off in-store purchases. Otherwise, if you're watching in Wisconsin or Texas, you can go to our website, freedomfamilychiro.com, pick up the detox system. They'll ship it right to your house. Great product. Been using it for a long time. How else do we help with cancer? Well, this one's really going to blow you away. I'm sure you had no clue that this could help, but it's exercise. Now, this may be obvious, but let's talk about it a little bit about it. I'm going to give you a couple details about it and some science behind this too, because it's very important. It's one of our essentials. It has directly to do with cancer. Over 61 different studies, and they just keep piling up. 61 different studies showing how exercise helps prevent and even reverse different types of breast cancer. And that's just one type of cancer, right? So exercise is critically important. I read this off Mayo Clinic website. It says, this is your secret weapon to preventing cancer, or your secret weapon for cancer treatment. And then it says exercise. Well, why? Why is exercise so important to cancer? The first word on this slide right here, what does it say? It says oxygen. You see, exercise, physical activity increases the oxygenation of the tissues. And what did we look when we looked at the blueprint of cancer cells and healthy cells, is that healthy cells need oxygen. Cancer cells, they don't need oxygen. So if you get more oxygen into your tissues, cancer doesn't like that environment. And it's going to help your immune system to kill off cancer cells, keep the good cells healthy. And that's why exercise is so important for cancer. In fact, they go on to say that, because a lot of times when people get cancer, family members and sometimes even doctors will say, you need to rest. You need to rest. You need to get your strength. You need to rest. And of course, we do need to rest. But that they're recommending we do have to exercise through cancer treatments, even if you're fatigued, even if you don't feel good, because the oxygenation of the tissues is critical. In fact, they found out that if you do not exercise, it causes continued functional decline. And nobody wants to continue to decline through the cancer. So exercising is great before, during, and post cancer. And one of the types of exercise that we teach is max T3. So this is a high interval high intensity interval training. They're very short workouts, and they're very, very effective. In fact, they're created to get great oxygenation of the tissues, get the heart rate up, to elicit a hormonal response, to increase human growth hormone, which is going to help build lean muscle, and keep your cortisol levels low, which is your stress hormone. And that's important because too much stress leads to too much inflammation and hormone disruption, which increases your risk of cancer. So keeping your cortisol levels low and increasing your HGH is going to help you burn fat and be super healthy. And so if you're a patient in the office, many of you have the Max T3 program. I encourage you to log in, check out some of the workouts, get moving on that one. If you do not have it, you can go to our website, freedomfamilychiro.com. It's only like 20 bucks. It's like 14 different workouts on there. It's awesome. And one of the cool things about Max T3 or this type of conditioning is the effects of the oxygen that we were talking about. So check this out. Classic cardio, you're working out at a moderate intensity level, and you've got great oxygenation throughout the workout. But after the workout, the epoch, sometimes called the afterburn. Have you heard about afterburn? It's a good thing when it comes to burning calories, right? It's called epoch. It's excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. And the longer and higher the epoch, the more fat you burn after the workout. And raise your hand if you'd like to burn more fat after you're already done working out. Me too. I can feel your hands raising from my house here. So after classic cardio, your epoch goes down quickly. But after metabolic conditioning or Max T3 type workouts, your epoch, your oxygen consumption stays elevated for up to 36 hours. So like a day and a half after your workouts, you will continue to burn fat. Pretty cool, right? That's how powerful these types of workouts are, especially when it's talking about preventing or reducing your cancer load. All right. Few more things that we've got to talk about this evening. How does chiropractic play a role in cancer? So we're going to finish up with chiropractic, and then I'm going to go over some supplementation, and then we should be finishing up here shortly. But I got to talk about chiropractic because of its impact on your immune system, and we'll talk a little bit about cancer as well. Because the last couple times we've talked about it, like last week's masterclass, we said chiropractic is not about pain. It's about what? What did I say? It's not about pain. It's about brain. Chiropractic optimizes your brain and your nervous system. And if your brain is functioning well and optimizing the rest of your body well, do you have a increased likelihood of getting cancer or a decreased likelihood of getting cancer? Yes, it decreases your likelihood of cancer when your brain and your nervous system are functioning optimally because it controls everything. So you're just an overall healthier person. That's a pretty simple explanation, right? Not too scientific, but true. So that's why you need to be getting adjusted on a regular basis to optimize brain function and all other body function. But I'm going to give you a little bit of research here today. Because when you get a chiropractic adjustment, it has been proven in studies to increase interleukin-2 levels. And these interleukin-2 has been shown, increased interleukin-2 kills cancer cells. So much so your body creates this. It's naturally created inside of your body. In fact, so much so that some cancer treatment centers, they use interleukin-2 treatments to help people overcome cancer, but your body makes it all on its own. And every time that you get a chiropractic adjustment, it enhances it, it increases your body's levels of interleukin-2, so it goes and kills and fights off cancer cells at a better level than people who are not taking care of their spine and their nerve system with chiropractic and spinal home exercises. And that's just another reason, if you're trying to prevent cancer or if you're trying to overcome it right now. Chiropractic, they said exercise is your secret weapon. Well, I'm going to argue them on that because exercise is not too secret. But chiropractic, that is your secret weapon to help fighting cancer, because not enough people, not saying nobody, but not enough people know that chiropractic has the ability to improve your cancer, improve cancer fighting ability. Pretty cool, huh? So if you have a great chiropractor, if you have a Max Living chiropractor, it's something you should be continuing for the rest of your life if you want to stay healthy. If you are in the Raleigh area and you're looking for a great chiropractor, I know one. And you can go to our website. You can go to freedomfamilychiro.com. We have a new patient special on there. You can request an appointment time. A team member will reach out to you to answer any questions that you will have, and we can see how we can help you. Looking forward to meeting you. If you're watching across the country right now and you're looking for somebody near you, just go to this website, go to maxliving.com, and you can search your location to find a good doctor near you. If you have questions, you can put them in the comments and I can help direct you to somebody else near you as well. So a few other things that we want to talk about. Supplementation. I want to talk about 4 other supplements tonight as we wrap up our class. And these nutrients have been proven to have a huge impact on inflammation, cancer. And the first one that I want to talk about is curcumin. So this is pretty popular in the supplement industry today, and for good reason. So curcumin is an active ingredient that comes from turmeric. Turmeric's used heavily in like Indian food, spices, seasonings for like Indian food, right? It's got that dark, rich yellow color, and a powerful ingredient is curcumin. And it's a huge it has huge anti-inflammatory benefits. And it's been proven to destroy cancer cells without harming good, healthy cells, which is important because allopathic treatments like chemotherapy and radiation, yeah, they kill cancer cells, but guess what? They also kill a lot of surrounding healthy cells as well. So this is pretty cool. Curcumin can kill cancer cells while protecting and keeping healthy cells safe. So that's a great product. Max Living has a supplement called curcumin C3. It's a great one you can pick up as well. 10% off any in-office purchases this week. Otherwise, you can go to the website as well. I'll pull that up in a second. Second supplement that's very powerful and very anti-cancer is DIM. So you'll see these vegetables here, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and I think that's a kohlrabi right there. I think that green round one in the front, I think it's a kohlrabi. I love kohlrabi, and that's pretty sulfuric, so I think that's a cruciferous vegetable as well. It's got a compound in it called indole-3-carbinol. And when that's broken down in the body, it turns into DIM, or diindolylmethane. And we're just going to call it DIM. And so DIM has, the reason why it's super powerful is it helps regulate estrogen levels. Now, guys, remember, you have estrogen too. So do the ladies. And most people are estrogen dominant. So DIM, when you get it in supplement form, you can get a really potent dosage, like more than eating a couple of pounds of cruciferous vegetables per dosage, that's going to help balance your estrogen levels and help overcome things like prostate cancer and also breast cancers, and especially hormonal related cancers. It's also, DIM is not only shown to be anti-cancer, but it's antiviral as well. So it's pretty cool. It's a great, powerful supplement to help prevent or reverse cancer cells. Another powerful supplement, garlic. Not only does it taste great, but it is a powerful cancer fighter. So garlic oil, garlic is part of the allium vegetables, and the powerful ingredient is allicin. And so allicin has been shown to kill cancer cells, reduce the risk of several different types of cancers. So eating garlic in your foods regularly or supplementing with a potent garlic extract or garlic oil is great too. Last one I want to talk about tonight is probiotics. So you may have heard that 70 to 80% of your immune system lies within your gut. And a weakened immune system, people have bad gut flora or bad probiotics, have a weakened immune system, and therefore an increased likelihood of developing cancer. So that's why eating probiotic rich foods or taking a probiotic supplement is going to be critical to boost your immune system and fight various types of cancers. So these 4 supplements. Another one that I didn't talk about tonight, that's probably one of my favorites, is vitamin D3. Very powerful anti-cancer supplement, very directly related. In fact, Max Living makes a D3 probiotic capsule that's combined in one. So these supplements that I went over tonight, if you're looking to boost your immune system, or you can't say that anymore, if you're looking to optimize your immune system, or if you're looking to help fight cancer or protect against it, this is a great cell support bundle. You can buy them all together. You can buy them individually if you want. All 4 of those awesome supplements. Again, 10% off any in-store purchases this week. Just reference the Masterclass. Team will help you out, get those ordered. Otherwise, you can order them online at freedomfamilychiro.com and you'll get what you need. So we just learned some pretty cool things. One of my favorites is still the blueprint of the healthy cell and the cancer cells, and literally how several of the 5 essentials are right in there. It gives us some real answers. And tonight, by learning more about cancer and knowing how it works and what its strategies and what environments it works in, it gives us confidence that we can take action steps to either build health, or we can build disease. And when you have knowledge, you have power, and then you don't have to live in so much fear. And that's part of why I'm excited about this masterclasses, because not only are we creating fearless immunity, but we're choosing faith over fear and helping people become as healthy as possible. If you found this class beneficial in any way, I'd love that you'd help others and share this with a friend. Make a comment on here. Tell us what you learned, and stay tuned, because next week we are moving into where we'll be over halfway done with the masterclass. Next week, all about nervous system, strengthening in your natural defenses. So tune in next Tuesday night, 6 p.m. on Facebook, on YouTube. We'll be here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon.